Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of RAYNz Gaming. My name is RAYNz, and today we're going to talk about Izanami, and is she good? Or more importantly, is she better than you think? I'm going to be talking about Izanami and why I think she might have a few tricks up her sleeve, especially with the new buffs, but also why she's currently kind of being perceived, in my opinion, as underwhelming, which really wasn't how we were all thinking about Izanami when she was first released. We were all like, damn, stealth on a hunter, this is gonna be OP. So let's get into it, but I do want to say, please watch the entire video. This is a theory piece and something that should be watched in its entirety and not piecemealed. So, Izanami certainly stands out. She's brilliant in her design because she's so different. This here lies a big point as to why I think she may actually be OP, while currently can still be considered meh. To me, this is a common theme within the community. Many gods or ideas who don't fit the typical mold of that class take a bit of time to get used to, understand, and maximize. With Izanami, that's even more so, as introducing a very assassin-esque ability of stealth into a hunter is a bit odd. Many people don't ever try to sneak up on their target with Hu Yi or Rama or Scotty. A lot of those times, those players are making calculated aggressions in lane with teammates and being supported with a nice front line to peel for them. I mean, I've popped out of the jungle with an on her pillar once or twice in my youth, but you know, it ain't something I do on the regular. Izanami, while still being able to do those normal hunter things, just isn't the same, and we'll talk about her basic attacks later. Her 3 can be a good escape for sure, but I think many people's first, and I'm talking about right when they saw the patch notes, you know who I'm talking about, I'm talking to you, was to think of how strong that might be to have a hunter that can stealthily sneak up on you and kill you. People were saying, OP, it's the hunter version of Loki, too much, rip Smite balance. For me, this is a moment of when design doesn't necessarily fit expectations. I've tried playing Izanami a few times, and going in on someone with stealth just felt a bit, how shall I put this, stupid. Yeah, I can see how it might be good with a coordinated team, but I found myself using that stealth much more often to escape rather than to set up attacks, lose my movement ability, and be completely vulnerable if I don't win that trade. Now, did I use my stealth to set up attacks? Sure, but it wasn't so much as OP, oh my god, that person's dying before they can blink like Loki. It was more of a, damn, okay, I was able to get the first hit, I was able to stealth away. So is stealth really OP, or is it, you know, just meh on Izanami? Honestly, the verdict is still out. She's too new to really understand how good it is on her or how good it isn't on her, but with the new buffs making it available for her to be able to stealth a little longer, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Secondly, her basic attacks, those boomerangs that are a bit odd, make Izanami even more unique. This uniqueness is displayed in my own utter confusion on how to fight someone one-on-one without having my steroid up. I mean, honestly, the boomerangs are dope for clear, but it's freaking weird and hard to box somebody if you don't have your number 1 up. It feels slow, very different from other hunters, and personally, I think a new player would find it extremely hard. And we've covered this thing before, right? A lot of players thinking that hard things are bad until shown differently. Listen, if I give you a win condition, but make that condition extremely challenging to achieve, a player will probably just say that that champion, god, or game isn't good. They will not worry about why it could be good in scenario A, B, or C. They'll just look at their own experience for when they tried to fight someone without their steroid and thought that boomerang basic attacks are not even close to as good as normal hunter basic attacks. Weird god equals sucky god. In many ways, this is true though. If it takes a lot of skill / ability to make a god effective, then maybe when you play Chronos, you are only achieving 50% of the damage you could be. So in that case, you may be better off playing Ra, doing 100% or 90% of his damage potential, and being far better off helping your team and in your stats. In that scenario, for that player, Chronos is a bad god and Ra isn't. Now, take a fully stacked Chronos and a fully stacked Ra and put them 1v1 or even on opposite teams playing to their full potential, Chronos should win that 1v1 and probably wreck face, even though Ra's healing could be a difference maker for the team fight, but let's not get into that. But I mean, you get the point, right? McDonald's playpen can be cooler than Disneyland if every time you go to McDonald's, you play in the playpen, and every time you go to Disneyland, you sit in the parking lot. That's some messed up stuff to bring your kid to Disneyland and leave him in the parking lot all day. I don't even want to think about that. So the more important reason why hard gods aren't necessarily considered good is because playing a new god to 100% potential rarely happens right away. Izanami doesn't fit the mold, so knowing exactly how to get the most out of her right now doesn't even exist. Even good Izanami players are probably only operating on 80% of her potential. This means most people can easily have an experience of she's meh, she's okay, when they're comparing her to other experiences of playing other hunters. She could end up being the best, most valued hunter in the game, but because her kit is unique and doesn't fit the mold, it's going to take a bit of time for people to understand her. So therein lies why I think people are A, unsatisfied and underwhelmed with Izanami currently, B, why she's receiving a buff in this patch, and C, why we still may have a ways to go before she's accepted by pros and well received in the community and considered very good. However, she's getting buffed, so now she's going to have better damage on her ultimate and her stealth will last longer. I found that these buffs help people's opinions of gods even before they happen, and I also think that these are some really nice additions that will make her simply feel easier and make players more comfortable on her when they pick her up in a match. Now, a lot of you know I do work for high-res studios, and I want to make it clear, this is my opinion, and I've got no inside knowledge about Izanami or any Smite numbers. I work for Paladins pretty much. So this is just me as a Smite YouTuber, as a community member, sharing my thoughts, and hopefully you enjoyed listening to them. I think it's kind of interesting to speculate about the thought process that go on behind the scenes with players, and if you had a good time watching, leave a like, and of course, if you've chosen to subscribe, thank you and welcome to the storm. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode, and as always, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and I'll see you all next time.